Hey everyone, it's Ace. So today we are starting here in a very new game called Minecraft. So I've mentioned this game before in previous videos, and I have had fun playing this game in years past, and it is also a very popular game. So actually today I'm going to be experimenting with piston extenders from my hotbar filled with redstone. And we're gonna just see how well we can make these piston extenders work and how compact these can be. And I would like to mention that I have this custom skin. I hope you guys like it, but let's go ahead and jump into the piston extender creations. So let's go ahead and start off with one of the simplest piston extenders, which is actually a single piston extender. It's one of the simplest things ever because it's just a piston. I'm not exactly sure if you can call this a piston extender because it's just pushing one block. It's kind of the intentional game design, but I like to call it a single piston extender. So let's just move on to the double. Okay, so the double is a bit more complex, where we have 3 different lines of redstone that we need to put in with different timings. So how this is actually going to work is we power this back piston and then power this piston up front to make the full extension. Then for the retraction, we need to power this block to pull the block in, and then power this block to pull that piston, and then power the piston to pull the block to make the double retraction. So we actually need to figure out all the timings to do that. So how we actually do that is we don't make any ticks, we don't make any extensions of a pulse through this one, because we want to make sure that this retracts first, otherwise it will have trouble pulling back this block and will require more ticks through the other extensions. And what I found is that through this last one, where it's pulling back the piston from where the sea lantern is now, is that it has a random chance of doing it on 2 ticks, but on 3 ticks is always accurate. And then that means if this is going to be a 3 tick difference for a accurate representation of the double piston extender, then this needs to be 3 ticks apart from this one. So this is going to be 3 ticks with redstone running out of it, and then this one is going to be 6 ticks. This is going to be none, which will then represent into a simple double piston extender. It's very simple, but it's a bit more complicated than what you see in Java Edition, but it's just how everything renders in the Bedrock edition of the game. But this is how you make a simple double piston extender. Okay, let's go on to this triple piston extender design that I've just created. So this is just a quick model of what we want to be representing in the extender, but how we want this triple to work, it's gonna do all of these ones in the front like this, but with different timings. So how I'm actually going to do this is with the help of some redstone back that requires an observer. So how this is going to work is that these 2 front pistons for the retraction, they are going to act like the double piston extender. And then in the back here, that's where all the rest of the extension is going to work. So where we want to start is by placing the redstone where it fully extends. So as you can see here, this is how it fully extends. It extends up to here, so that's where we want the first line of redstone to be placed. So after that redstone is in place, we're going to make the rest of the double piston extender, and then we're going to add a lever. Now I'm not sure what we needed for this spot. I think it could either be just a straight redstone line or maybe 1 tick, but I'm gonna try a redstone line first, see how that's gonna go. But we definitely need a repeater there so it doesn't power this piston. So here it's quite obvious what we need. We need a repeater here so it doesn't power anything else besides this piston. Then over here I actually am going to make this act somewhat again like the double piston extender. So what this part is going to do, and I can simulate that right here, is it's going to pull each block back individually. I even believe that this can be 1 tick quicker. So let's go ahead and try that one out. Not quite, we need it a bit longer. Now that is the full-on triple piston extender design. it's fairly simple. I might find one in the future without some quartz, but right now this is the quickest design that I found, which it's very nice. It's pretty compact. But let's go ahead and move on to one of the harder ones that I've actually created, which is going to be the quadruple. Now this one, I'm not sure how far it actually goes. So the redstone line actually reaches this mark here. So we want to make sure to lead up to there. I've only made one design for this, and I don't even remember it. But I'm gonna try my best to do everything from my previous knowledge of extenders to figure this out. So the first part I think I'm gonna set up is something along the lines of making the full piston extension, and then after that we can make part of the retraction on this side, and then make the full line retraction back over here. But I'm gonna make a 2-tick difference between these two and then do the rest. So that should be the full on extension. That looks pretty clean, and then we can do the retraction, and that does not much, but we can do this right here at a certain length. I'm not sure how much it actually is going to be, but I'm sure I can figure that out with a bit of tweaking. So with a bit of tweaking, I've gotten it down to 3 ticks. 3 ticks will make that type of retraction. So now how I want this to work, similarly to what I've done over at the triple, I will make actually 2 back double piston extenders in that type of fashion through here, but I will stack them on top of each other. So I've gotten myself a building block to actually put any redstone that I need on top of it. But how this is going to work, I think I'm gonna make it with some sort of redstone torch, because any way that I can think of results in some sort of non-differentiating between everything else. So I need to make the redstone go through here. This is getting fairly large at the back, so let's go ahead and quickly get in the double piston extender out the back here. And now we just need to place redstone. I think I'm going to place it underneath here. I'm going to need to make it a bit more deeper than I thought it would be, otherwise this won't interact with everything else. And then I think I just need to connect it up in between these other ones, and then I think that should be good to go. So let's go ahead and try it out. I'm sure there'll be a timing issue in between everything because this seems to go a lot quicker. So we're going to place some pulse extension right there so it doesn't mess anything up. But let's go ahead and try out this design. Okay, so there's the full extension, and the retraction was a mess. So let's go ahead and add more pulse to this, and then we'll check this out. So that one also didn't work. I think it was still too quick, and I don't even know if that's the problem. Okay, so there is an extra pulse length going through here, but I don't know why. So I think there's something wrong with this whole entire circuit. So let's just see what we need to do without it being connected. Okay, so how we want this to go is this actually needs to be something like this, not like a double. So we're going to fix this all up. That was probably my bad. I thought it would be something like this, but of course it would be like the other way that I did it. So how I'm actually gonna need to fix this, So I'm gonna make the redstone go a bit higher here so that it doesn't have a chance to interact with it. Because I couldn't find any way for the redstone to get into this pulse, and that's the only way that I found that would actually work. Okay, so this is gonna be the final test, I think. I think this is the fixed solution. But let's go ahead and try it out just to make sure. There that goes. And that didn't seem to be enough time in between the pulses. Oh, this is getting a bit more difficult than I would think. Okay, so I forgot to add a bit here. That is an easy fix by just adding another line through here. I don't know why I even attempted to make a new design. This is just a monstrosity of a build. I'll bring back the old one, but I have totally forgotten it. And that should be it. Okay, there we go. That is the finished quadruple piston extender. This is just terrible, honestly. I have not tried the quintuple. I don't even know what it was called, but it's 5 pistons that extend and then retract fully. But I have not figured out a design for that one quite yet, but I'm sure it's just something to do with a pulse chain going through, and I think I can figure that out some other time. But I think this is going to be it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.